The way you're talking about him is the way a lot of people were talking about Colston Loveland out of Michigan a couple of years ago. He was going to be the next guy, the next big tight end, the Mackey Award winner. Some injuries for him slowed him down. He's a big guy. He's 6'6". He's 250. He's younger. He's just 20 years old.
Yep, okay.
Out of Idaho.
Big square shoulders. He's got a square frame than Tyler Warren. You know, I'm meeting them in person, right? He's definitely a little bit more that way. Maybe not quite as thick, but, man, big, broad shoulders. Long arms, a little different look, but still really awesome, impressive look.
So he is mocked in mock drafts around mid-14. That's Colts or Chargers at 22. Jim Harbaugh is going to take his guy if he has the opportunity there. How close is he talent-wise to Tyler Warren?
I don't think he's like Tyler Warren for sure is a top 15. I think Colston Loveland I would look at and go, yeah, it's something after that. In my heart of hearts, and I wrote from 10 to 25.
Okay.
Right? I maybe should have wrote 15 to 25. I think that's where I think it ends up being. Let's start here. Just give him his banner statement. Nobody in this draft blocks like Colston Loveland.
So he's the guy.
What?
Your power run game.
Colston Loveland is a legit, unbelievable, high-level run-blocking NFL tight end right now. He was the only guy, and I didn't watch this whole group yet. I only watched like the top 7 or 8 guys, all right? So just to be totally transparent here. But he's the only guy out of that group where day in, day out, play in, play out, his run game, attention to detail, blocking, they ran plays behind him because they knew it was an advantage to have him over there, all of that. He's the only guy out of the tight end position I could say that was really something that just popped off the screen. Everybody else, like I said, is a little bit more of, hey, there's a good play here and there, but the rest is just, I got in his way and my guy didn't make the tackle. Colston Loveland was like, no. I collapsed the defensive end and he took out the defensive tackle and I stand over them and tell them, eat it, right? Like he had a little bit of attitude. Like you could tell he really enjoys that. And that's just the run blocking because the pass stuff is really damn good too.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if you wanted to follow up with that, but I'm just going to throw it there.
Well,
I stopped for a second.
Now I'm
just
intrigued.
To let you.
Now I'm intrigued because if Tyler Warren and you talked about Brock Bowers was more of a slot receiver playing tight end, still can do the tight end stuff.
Yes.
Like where does Colston Loveland's pass catching ability fit into that?
Okay. All right.
Circle.
So he's really impressive. And like I said, the body's impressive. And I would think that he really weighs more than 248 pounds. The fact that he can't lift weights because he's had this shoulder stuff, I would guarantee that's taken 5, 6, 7 pounds away from him at the combine. Not being able to do any chest, arms, right? Any shoulder work. There's a lot of weight to be carried in those areas that you miss out on, right? But one of the first things I wrote here is, and two, to echo your sentiments, because I got to start this because I wrote this. When I went up to Michigan 2 years ago, that's all they could freaking talk about, right? The year they won the national championship, their coaches were literally like, hey, we know Brock Bowers is the top tight end in football. We know that. But we think we have a guy here that is in the conversation with him. And he is. He's special. He's a first-round tight end. There's no doubt about that. You don't have to watch much film to realize he is legit. Like, really good natural pass catcher. Has incredible releases. Like, releases off the line of scrimmage, whether he's in a three-point stance or as a receiver, right? Does it like a receiver. He's that special in how he does that. Now, it's not explosive receiver speed, but the movements and how he does it and the techniques are all receiver-like. What he does at the top of his routes, right? He's really good at that. Does all the right stuff there, has really good ability to chop the feet and break on a dime, drops his weight, and like for a huge guy, again, it's not like he has to break down and it's like, whoa, he took 7 steps to turn the locomotive over there to catch the football. He can kind of be like, boom, chop him, and turn really quick and be impressive with a sharp break off of putting his foot in the ground, right? So that is the thing you notice right away. Like one of the first things I noticed watching one of the games early on in the year, it might have been the Texas game. I mean, they split him out and they were just like, work. Just you on him one-on-one and we'll throw you the ball. And he does it. And he can do it, of course, with the good route running, with the good change of direction ability, like I said, sticking his foot in the ground. And then also, like a Tyler Warren, the big body and the frame and the ability to extend the arms, like even when he's covered, he's not covered. So all of that is really good. And then when he gets the ball in his hands, it's not Tyler Warren, but it's good. Like, it's It's make people miss. It's aggressive going upfield looking for yards. It's not like, oh, good, I just caught the ball. Now let me just make sure I kind of just let me cover the ball and go into contact. No, he gets the ball in his hand and wants to do something with it. And I love that aspect about him too. He is a really freaking good player. Starter day one, definite top 25 pick in the draft, I think.
Still young and still room to grow. Just 20 years old, as I mentioned, just spent 3 seasons at Michigan, yet still has the school record for career receptions by a tight end. That's a school that's churned out some pretty good tight ends and used them a lot throughout the years. So I think that you are going to be a little bit higher on him as a blocker because you were just very effusive in your praise of him as a blocker.
Yeah.
You read some of the other scouting reports out there, they're not quite as effusive as you.
That's crazy.
Even Lance Zierlein of NFL.com, who looks at all these guys, respect what he does. He's been doing this for a long time. He goes, he will keep filling out his frame, but is unlikely to ever become more than an average as a blocker.
Oh, I don't see that.
What are they seeing, do you think?
I really
don't know.
How are they
interpreting
I
that?
think what they're interpreting it as a little bit is that they run the ball 50 times a game, and they're a little bit like genuflecting on 2 or 3 missed blocks a game where I'm going to go, no, like your franchise left tackle probably is going to miss a block in one of these. Like you're
so
being
he has
too
more
critical.
chances to put out
exactly.
a bad
That's
rep.
what I would think you're going to look at. I would go if we put him up with high-end blocking and like being expected to, hey, we're kind of running a play behind you, I don't think anybody would even compare to him in this draft in that area. Like I said, you see him dominate big defensive ends in the Big Ten. You see him collapse size of the line of scrimmage. And the other thing is I see it's just a real wanting to do it, right? That's the big thing. So, yeah, I think they're taking a liberty there of maybe like, they had what's-his-face at quarterback, and they only threw like 8 times a game, and they ran it 52 times in a row, right?
Yeah.
And he missed 5 blocks during the game.
Right.
Okay.
These 5 look bad, but they ran it so many times, you're going to have a bad one.
You're going to have a
there.
few. Like the left guard did too, the left tackle did too, the center did too. Like it's not going to be perfect that way. I would think that's what they're looking at because I was blown away by the blocking. That was my biggest thing, as I told you. Like right away, that was the thing at the end I wrote where he's like a really good run blocker. He's by far the most impressive guy of the group. Strong hands, strong arms, wins the wrestling matches at the line of scrimmage, right? Those stalemates where it's like, oh, nobody won on the initial blow. But then he kind of wrestles his guy into the position he wants, and he ends up winning it. So, yeah, I'm a little surprised by actually that comments there. And I think that's what – a lot of teams in the NFL are going to see him and look at him and go, ooh, that's where he's a little different than the rest of the group.
And just if you're ranking your tight ends on how good of a basketball player they are and if they can dunk, he was first team All-Idaho in high school as a basketball player. So that will calm your nerves if you're worried about that.
I had no doubt he was – when you moved like that, I had no idea – I had no doubt he was a good athlete, and especially in basketball. I mean, Idaho competition, we'll see about that.
I don't want to say anything bad. I mean, they probably had some NCAA tournament teams out of Idaho sometimes.
But he's like, he's sudden, right? He's got that little twitchiness that I talked about even with Tyler Warren where he can just lean you and come out of a break really quick, right? You can line him up one-on-one at wide receiver, and he will win no matter what, no matter who covers him. Like, I have no doubt about that. If it's a fast corner who's faster than him, he's just going to big body him and move out of the way. Linebackers, he's going to be too quick and run too good of routes for them to cover him. Safeties, it's the same thing. I just don't think they're going to be big enough to cover him when it's all said and done. He's fearless over the middle in traffic, and like I said, when he gets the ball in his hand, he's looking to do damage. Right? For 6'6", 248, the route running is impressive. Incredible catch radius. Really good run blocker. The complete package. I wrote, I would guess he runs 4.65-ish. Only negative is I wish he would try to run tacklers over more. Best blocking tight end in the draft.
Dang.
That's what I wrote.
Interesting.
Right?
So if other teams see it as you see it, I would guess your range of 10 to 20, 25 is probably pretty accurate, right? Because people like his receiving.
Yes.
And if they believe in his blocking, that's mid-first round
I have no
talent.
doubt they're going to see what I saw in the blocking. I will be shocked and
And he did play injured.
He did. He played injured.
He told
it's
you.
Michigan. It's Jim Harbaugh. You usually can't even play tight end unless you can block if you're Jim Harbaugh. That should be your first context clue.
This year, he injured his AC joint week 3, he told you. Played the rest of the season, but it kept swelling up.
Yep.
Got surgery January 29th. No pain now. Rehab's going great. And so he did even show the physicality when he was banged up and that shoulder was feeling
tough
not
as
great.
hell. Complete player. Michigan type of guy, as you would expect.
We go.
No doubt about that. Just what you wanted to hear.
Leaders and best is what we say for a guy who didn't even go there but has been rooting for them his whole life.
Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Hey, just because the season's over, it doesn't mean we're over. We ain't going anywhere. The NFL never dies.
We're staying right here. Hit subscribe. We got every NFL move. We'll react to that. Plus, Chris has got 4,719 draft prospect profiles to do.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe. You know where to find us. Peace out, homies.